Hello, everyone. Ben Buckland on KALV, reaching out to partner Grant Merrill, who's on the road this afternoon. Grant, how you doing?
Doing okay. Rolling through beautiful El Reno, where I've noticed they've built a lot of new things since I've been through here last.
El Reno's pretty this time of year.
They have a Whataburger now.
You're kidding.
No.
I told you, didn't I, that there's a that pizza place that you like that's out of Wichita. The guy built
Gambino's.
Gambino's. There's a new Gambino's in your country. Broken Arrow.
Well, good.
Brand
Good.
new.
I'm glad to hear that. You and I frequented the one in Alva.
Yes, to great approval. Great approval. So Grant is on the road, as you can hear, and this is a kind of a tough one. We some time ago purchased a radio station in Dumas, Texas. The Ding Dong Daddy, KDDD, have since sold it, but during the time made some really good friends. In fact, did you get that picture up on Facebook, Grant?
I have not as of yet. I've been driving, so I wanted to do the careful thing.
Yeah, good idea. There's a picture of the gentleman we're going to chat about in just a moment, of us doing the play-by-play, however you do play-by-play on a parade, I'm not sure of Doggy Days in Dumas, Texas, which is their huge event. So our buddy Carl, who Grant will tell you about, Grant's going out to visit him, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Give us a little background there, Grant.
Well, of course, you and I bought the radio station KDDD probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, and we were coming off the back end of COVID. And when you buy a radio station, especially in a town that you've never lived in or maybe are not as familiar with, it is an integral part of your existence to be involved in the Chamber of Commerce. And much like you have your chamber chats and you promote everything in Alva, we did the same thing in that part of Texas for places like Dumas and Dalhart and even into Amarillo. And our chamber director in Dumas was a guy named Carl Watson. And Carl's been a really neat guy. He had done everything from owned hotels in the Bahamas to run big visitors bureaus in places like Dallas and Fort Worth and in the suburbs down there. And then he had kind of taken this last almost a retirement type job in Dumas, running the Chamber of Commerce there. And, he's not an old guy. He's probably mid-70s, 76, 77, about your age, Ben.
Right.
And we all know what a young ball of energy you are.
True.
But about a year ago, Carl found out that he had a case of cancer, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to get the final lick in, and we're on our way to say goodbye today.
Well, please remember me to him.
Sure.
I mean, you said that he kind of took this as this gig as a this is my last go type of deal.
Right. Right.
But he didn't half step it. I mean, he worked that chamber job really hard.
Well, in places like Alva and Woodward, Dumas is just like it. Dumas is, we're all in the same region, and we've all had towns that are famous for something. And, Dumas had his Doggy Days Festival and his Cowboy Classic Rodeo. And just about any time you saw an event that was being put together in Dumas, you saw Carl Watson. And he pulled everything together and was always at everything and just worked his tail off to try to make the community a better place. And Carl kind of reminds me a lot of CJ Montgomery over in Woodward. You think of Woodward, you think of CJ, and even though Carl had not been in Dumas as long as CJ has been Woodward, he has kind of been synonymous with the town.
And like you said, for guys that or owners that aren't from the community, you kind of need a little help from time to time. And one of the greatest helps that for us was to be able to say, "Hey, Carl Watson said to be sure and say hi to you when I came in this morning," and so, it was an immediate entry into the front door, and it wasn't not the truth.
Our communities are very nice places to live, but some of our communities, small towns in Oklahoma and Texas, can be kind of unforgiving when it comes to outsiders. And Carl, for us, was able to really smooth out those relationships from day one. I mean, he was literally the first person I met when we went out there, and just took over and really acted as an ambassador for us in those early days. And of course, that was such a good community because it wasn't really hard to get to know people. But man, he sure made some good introductions.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Well, it's a good trip that you're taking. Be safe, and oh boy, it's a sad day, but a necessary day. And say goodbye to Carl Watson for us. When you get a chance, put that picture up on the KALV website so people will know who we're talking about. There'll be 3 people in the picture. Carl is the not short, fat one.
Right. And he's also not the old one, or not the young one,
True,
so.
true. Appreciate you, Grant. Drive carefully.
All right, Ben. Talk to you today.
All right, bye.